Hey guys, this is just a quick video on Rwby because I've been talking to two people on Amino. Two people who are quite openly minded and quite accepting to a lot of the faults in the show as to why certain things are happening. And we realised one of the gripes out, and sorry about the light, it's angle and everything. One of the things we pointed out is that there's no actual reason for everyone to be going to Atlas. It's just like this was from I think it's her link on YouTube was Twins Inc. But that's like there is no actual reason for everybody to be going to Atlas. We know communications are down, but this is just pointing out more and more flaws in the story that haven't been considered. And one flaw I'm going to show that I really don't get. I don't get how like it's not like we've missed it, it's just like we've ignored it. And yet now, later on in the story, when all's going to shit, this type of thing plays a big role. Because you're expecting players like this to step forward. If you remember this scene from Volume 3, which I'll let play in the background.
If you were one of my men, I would have you shot. If I was one of your men, I'd shoot myself.
Yeah, that type of shit, right? There's a lot of problems with that scene in itself. First of all, Winter Schnee is not the Winter Maiden, just off that scene alone. Because if she was the Winter Maiden, she would have been allowed to stay. Being a maiden automatically grants you the knowledge of these bozos. You're part of the Illuminati at that point. She gets ejected from the room. So straight away, there's no chance in hell that Winter is the Winter Maiden. But the one thing that does pop up is, and I'll go into two things. One of them is, why is Ozpin the only one with backup personnel that know all this shit? He's got Glinda, he's got Crow, and from the way Raven sprouts, it seems all of Team Stark ended up being in on it. So it was Summer, Ty knows about it. So he's got this group that are attached to him that serve at Vale. And because he reincarnates, you know, you're never really going to get a person to take over Vale because he is the head honcho regardless. But he's got all these minions in his Illuminati. However, when you look to Atlas, when you look to Anima, look to Vacchio, these people don't. I mean, you had you got Lionheart in Anima. He didn't have any soldiers under him that were just, because that would have been the first question. It's like, you know, if he had his own version of Team Stark serving under him that knew about all this shit, the first question would have been, what happened to these people? They would have had to be murdered off, and that would have raised suspicion. In Atlas, you see it's got a different hierarchy because the huntsmen are tied to the military. They graduate and they join the military under like a special forces type thing. But it's like, why doesn't Winter know? There's no reason for her not to know if she's like one of these special head honchos. And just like that leads me into the final point is, we don't know anything about Vacchio, and Vacchio gives me a headache in a sense because like there's hype going into Atlas. There's hype because we know stuff about Atlas. There's stuff that we know from the earlier seasons that we want to see in Atlas. We want to see Penny's creator. We want to see the technology. We want to see friggin' Winter. I don't want to see Neon unless she ends up being a friggin' spy for Jacques. That makes a bit more sense as to how she's famous, because it doesn't make sense because she's a fucking faunus. And then there's a lot of disappointments with Ilya not going, with friggin' half Adam's dead, so, you know, there's no point fucking that White Fang shit anymore. There's emotional investment in Atlas. Not saying Crwby won't fuck it up. I bet they will find a way to do it. But the fans are emotionally invested. If anything, they're curious. They're curious. people who have said they'll drop the show will probably still watch the show out of blatant curiosity just to see what's going to happen in Atlas. But in Vacchio, there isn't. I mean, if anything, this... And, I didn't want to bring this up. This is how Rooster Teeth's mind works. And this is fucking retarded in the long run of things. For some reason, they're hinting that Team Coffee is originally from Vacchio, not Vale, which is fucked up in my mind. Like, I'm getting sick of this idea that even the Huntsmen as children, even before they turn 18, as teens, have zero fucking loyalty to the country of their birth. They don't give a fuck. Pyrrha fucked off. Bloody Coffee fucked off from Vacchio. They give zero fucks. So, Huntsmen, I don't know where Rwby got in her head that they're freaking heroes. These are just mercenaries for hire. They're fuckwits. That's what Huntsmen are. They're fuckwits. So yeah, how are they getting us hyped for Vacchio? Well, Team Coffee's from there, and they're lesbians. Ship baiting. What better way to get us hyped for something that could be 2-3 years down the road than by saying a bunny and a high-class rich girl are initially lesbians? It's like, what the fuck were you thinking? But that's just leading into my last point. So far, brought up why the Illuminati don't have more people in them so they actually function better. Why the other countries, why Ironwood, why Lionheart don't have their own troops that they can rely on. The last one with Vacchio just hit me right at the beginning of what I brought up. I said, why are we just going to Atlas? Why is that the only reason? There is no reason we're just going to Atlas. There's different things they could have done. And I know communications are down, but this is where it pays into having more troops at your disposal. Jeez, Tai is fucking closer to them than fucking Atlas, I would think, at this point. Especially with Yang on a fucking motor... Oh, wait, motorcycle's dead. Oh, they got flying ships. Fuck it. They got flying ships. There's no fucking excuse. Grab the ship, go get fucking Tai. The thing is, who's warning Vacchio? I swear, this is a plot twist that I considered months ago that I just thought it's like, it's not even a good plot twist. It's one of those obvious plot twists. It's something that you think up and you're like, they won't do it because it's so fucking, like, it's one of the most basic cliche plot twists. We're all headed towards Atlas. The enemy's headed towards Atlas. The goodies are heading towards Atlas. She's gonna attack Vacchio. Salem's gonna attack Vacchio. I'm calling it, like, right fucking now. It's not even thing. Oh, well, she gave them wings so they can fly against the enemy ships. Yeah, but there's too much shit with... the Grim don't do good in -0 sub temperatures. And even if you do hack the military, that's still a lot of power to go up against. There's too much you have to consider to knock down Atlas. It took them like 3 volumes of planning to take down Vale. You're not just gonna walk into fucking Atlas and knock it down. Vacchio, on the other hand, we know next to nothing about. It could just be a friggin' oasis in the desert with a fucking pyramid that trains huntsmen. That's all it could be. It could be a friggin' shithole. They have no warning. The last thing you gotta remember, from a from a Vacchio standpoint, the last actual piece of intelligence information that they have is the Vital Tournament. That's the last thing they see. The last thing they see is Atlas attacking Vale and Grim invading. That's the last thing they see. There's been 0 fucking communication. And in a game where Ospen's playing the Illuminati aspect, where you got all these secret agents and shit, the fact that... And now Ospen's been a child. I'm just going to lock myself in Oscar's head fuck the world. And I'm just like, you know what? That is a possible aspect. I did bring that up at one point. I'm just like, wait for 2 generations of huntsmen to die and then just start again. But yeah, at no point in the story has anyone said, you know, we gotta warn Vacchio. She might not attack Atlas. Atlas is like the final boss. They have all the shit going for them. They have disadvantages and weaknesses, but they have advantages friggin' galore. Even home field advantage in the cold they got. The Grimm are not going to be as big of a threat in an Atlas battle as they would anywhere else in the world. Especially a desert country with heat. Heat doesn't affect the friggin' Grimm. So I'm like, yeah, that's what this video, I'm just like, is going to be about. Is like, the world building in Rwby has fallen apart horribly. Someone explain to me. I'm going to post this on Amino, and I'm just curious. Someone explain to me. Give me a good goddamn reason, and please don't be a freaking 10, 12-year-old fucking child that goes, they're going to Atlas for the real... I swear to God, if that's the best shit you can come up with. Oh, you know those children that get dropped on their head as a child? Yeah. That's it. Go read a book. Go read a book. Go read some literature. It will help you out. Yeah. Why are they going to Atlas? Why don't the other headmasters have their own like versions of Team Stark, or at least people they can rely on that actually know what's going on? That doesn't make it common knowledge. That doesn't break the whole trusting. You can still be picky as shit with who you bring into the circle, but you should have more people out there. Because if they did, if each headmaster had their own team, the teams could be meeting up with people. Someone from Vacchio could come all the way to Anima. Hey, Lionheart, we need information. You know, give a shit. You know, you get that type of shit. And then lastly, you're just like, going into Volume 7, I think it's the most guaranteed thing that light is a pain in the ass. That Vacchio is going to get attacked. Or at least it's going to be the cliffhanger of Volume 7. Like, Volume 7 is going to be all setting up Atlas shit, We're going to see this, going to see a lot of shit that we don't care about, going to see some stuff we do care about, and then the cliffhanger of Volume 7 to make sure you come back for Volume 8 is the Grimm invading Vacchio. Done. Let me know if I'm wrong. If you disagree. If you think that honestly the fan I reckon the fandom at this point is clearly who is it? The guy on Twitter, Dishwasher something. He did the Rwby 3.0. If he is not fucking, he or she, I'm not going to judge. I don't know the pronoun for that person. That person is proof. And we've seen trailers on YouTube for Team, what was it, Regalia or something? They did all the freaking Mark Zane. The fandom at this point, in all aspects, from writing, from freaking trailers, character design, world building, the fan base is doing a better job than Crwby themselves. So, do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know.